What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Jerry, and today's video is going to be on the Detroit Pistons, and unfortunately, it's going to be talking about, how bad these guys have been playing, and we're going to jump right into the video. Now, looking at the Detroit Pistons, we're 4-20 on the season, and we're on a 10-game losing streak right now, and honestly, from a fan's perspective, from a fan's point of view, because I'm a Detroit Pistons fan. I live in Detroit. It's honestly it's very frustrating to see because, if you look back, at my previous videos, on the Pistons, I've been very optimistic about them, particularly coming into this season. Not optimistic to the point where, I think they were going to get to the playoffs or fight to a playoff spot, but I definitely was optimistic to the point to where I thought we would have more than 4 wins right now, and we will be a little bit more competitive, especially the way that we've been losing games, blowing leads. Like last night we blew a lead to the Washington Wizards, and then just losing these games, that we had in our hands, that we had control of, losing them, we losing these games right, down the stretch, and it's very hard to watch with your number one pick playing well too, man. That's got to be, that type of stuff scares me, man, when he's playing well and other guys just aren't producing the way we want them to produce. So with how bad the Pistons have been, then recently, you got to start to ask these questions like, is it time to blow this up and take a new approach? Because right now the Pistons are on pace to be, historically bad. They're on pace to be the worst team ever to have a number one pick. And basically, man, on average, in NBA history, when a team gets a number one pick, they get at least 8 games better. And right now, the Detroit Pistons are on pace to, they're on pace to go backwards. Last season with the lockout COVID season, we had a record of like 23-58 or something like that. And then this year, right now, if we keep it up at this pace, at how we're doing right now, we're going to have a record of 14-68 if we keep going at this pace. Now, I don't think this team is that bad to only win 14 games. And if so, man, that's going to be very, it's going to be very heartbreaking. It's going to put pressure on a lot of different people. But, like I said, so we going from, after getting the number one pick, we're going from, right now on pace, we're going from 23 wins to 14. So that's, what is that? Let me do the math. That's 6 games backwards after getting a guy like Cade Cunningham. And so when we're struggling like this, it's like, where do you look? And, you think like, did we make the wrong pick in drafting Cade Cunningham? And no, we can't say that because, over these last couple of games, Cade Cunningham, he's been balling. He's been playing lights out, especially down the stretch. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like they should just give the keys to Cade Cunningham. I don't understand. I know Jeremy Grant is a great player, great scorer, came to Detroit and changed his career, but I think Jeremy Grant is at his ceiling and he's not winning us no games. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it was we started looking to, get some pieces for Jeremy Grant because, he's clearly, he's not that. And, like I said, I love Jeremy Grant. I love his game, but, it's constructive criticism. Like, he's not producing any wins for us. And I just don't I feel like we should just, go all in on Cade Cunningham right now and give him the keys to the kingdom. So, you can't blame it on, Cade Cunningham because he's been doing his job as a rookie, and we see him progressing, and that's a great thing. But also, we have to be careful with losing games as well because Cade Cunningham said he will never be comfortable with, losing games. He said he will always hate that. And that was my biggest fear when we got the number one pick is, I don't want them to pull no Anthony Davis on this pool, no Zion Williamson saying they're unhappy and they're not going to play with us for, demanding trades. I really hope that doesn't happen with Cade Cunningham because he did show us, that he wanted to be here and he wanted to, do everything to, move this organization, in the right direction. So I hope we can, keep him happy and we can start winning some games. So, if the problem isn't Cade Cunningham, if, we didn't make the wrong pick, do we look at the coaching? Do we look at Dwayne Casey? Now, he has been very disappointing this season. Like I said, I feel like the talent is there, especially in the Eastern Conference, to have, more than 4 wins. And like I said, we've been blowing leagues and we've been you know, we've been losing games, you know, down the stretch. You know, we've been in some games down the stretch, but we just cannot, you know, put it together and win. So you got to look at, you know, at situations like that. Most of it comes to, you know, it comes to coaching. So, you know, Dwayne Casey has been disappointed in that aspect, and I know, you know, he's coached talent before. He's been to, I believe he got to the conference finals with the Toronto Raptors. You know, he's had, you know, Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, but that team was, you know, that was a complete team. They had depth, and they had other, you know, suitable role players. And, you know, Dwayne Casey has never, you know, he's never really dealt with a #1 pick. So, you know, these are new waters that he's treading. So, you know, that might be a factor that's on why the you know, the Pistons are struggling. And then I think the thing that's hindering us the most has been the bench. You know, the bench is, you know, absolutely terrible. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, our bench, you know, we're the third highest, you know, scoring bench unit in the league. But, you know, that's mostly from, you know, you know, they get it at the free throw line and they get a lot of shot attempts up. But our bench, they rank 19th in field goal percentage. They're 26th in net. They're 26th in net rating. 28%. They're 28th in the league in 3-point percentage, and then they're 27th in the league in turnovers. And you know, this is a veteran. You know, the bench unit is mostly veteran guys. You know, with Trey Lyles, Corey Joseph, Josh Jackson. You know, they out there just, you know, turning the ball over. Who else is out there? Did I say Corey Joseph? You know, they're basically out there, you know, turning the ball over, not just really playing great basketball. And these are the veteran players. So, you know, they can't come out there, you know, turning the ball over and missing wide open shots. Frank Jackson, he had a great season shooting the ball last season, 40% from the 3-point line last season. 28% this season, and I honestly thought he was going to be a guy that could average, you know, 15 points off the bench for us this year. But, you know, the season is still early. Who knows, that could turn around. But, you know, I feel like the bench is, you know, one of the biggest problems in the league right now. And with the Pistons having 3 20-year-olds, you know, 3 20-year-olds in their starting lineup. And to be fair to the bench, it is a lot of pressure on them because the Pistons got 2 starters. And they got 2 starters in their starting lineups averaging under, you know, 10 points per game, and Killian Hayes and Isaiah Stewart. But, you know, those are second-year players and they're 20 years of age. So you expect those, you know, inconsistencies from them, but, you know, not from your veteran bench unit. So, you know, there's a lot of things the Pistons need to, you know, take into consideration, you know, start to look at trades because, you know, right now this isn't working. And a 10-game losing streak, like I said, that's just, you know, that's embarrassing. And also, man, you know, guys, you know, the shooters on this team, man, like Sadiq Bey, I know he's been struggling. I hope he really turns it around because, you know, he's a valuable trade asset too, man. But, you know, right now it's just like it's not working. So, you know, we're gonna see what the Detroit Pistons do, man. Honestly, I like all the guys on this team, but my number one priority, man, is to keep Cade Cunningham happy. And I think the only thing that can do that is if we start winning some games. So whatever we got to do to start winning some games, you know, I'm here for it. You know, and if that's going to the trade market, then we're gonna go to the trade market. But I just don't think it'll make sense. I don't think it'll make sense to have a you know, I don't think it'll make sense to, you know, draft a generational talent and then start to tank. You know, that's just not, you know, that doesn't make any sense. So, you know, we got to start, you know, these young guys got to start getting some wins, man. So hopefully we can see that. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment down below. What do you think the Detroit Pistons need to do to turn this disaster around? And subscribe, man. Subscribe for more weekly content. I don't only talk about the Pistons. I talk about all other sports, man, but do not let this LA hat fool you. I just like it because it's black, and you feel me? You feel me? I just like it because it's black, you know. But you know, I'm from Detroit, man. But you know, subscribe to the channel, and that's curtains.